Okay, so earlier in the week, Sexy Red and Bernice King, Martin Luther King's daughter, um, she was very upset because there's a video online of Sexy Red and Martin Luther King that went viral, and then she posted like a clip from the video, and Bernice was not having it. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick here. So I don't get the point of this video, but okay. So this was floating around Twitter. Sexy Red and Martin Luther King. Yeah, I don't get it. But Sexy Red ended up, I think this is the one. Hold on. So she ended up posting this. And so Bernice King says, this is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, and deplorable and disrespectful to my family, my father, who's not here to respond himself because he was assassinated, for working for your civil and human rights and to end war and poverty. Please delete. Okay. So Bernice wrote that. And then Sexy ended up responding. And I liked her response. I can respect Sexy because she did take ownership. So Sexy says, you ain't wrong. I never meant to disrespect your family. My apologies. Just reposted something that I saw that I thought was innocent. And so Bernice King replied back and she says, thank you for your apology, which I sincerely accept. Please know that it was not my intention that you be denigrated. I value you as a human being. I hope you understand my concerns about that image. I know that my father has become a bit of a caricature to the world and that his image is often used with no regard to his family, his sacrificial work, or to the tragic, unjust way in which he died, a state sanctioned assassination. Unfortunately, I regularly challenge the disregard. I earnestly wish that people would imagine what it would feel like to see their deceased, murdered father repurposed for party flyers, unjust legislation, etc. All the best to you, young lady. So that is what Bernice King said to her. And I definitely like that back and forth. I like the fact that she took ownership and she apologized because his image has literally been turned into a joke over like the past, well, really since social media, with these Martin Luther King, MLK flyers and everything else. Recently, Trump said that he was going to open up the MLK files, the JFK, and the RFK files on their assassinations. I found out recently, I didn't know this, but they're saying that the bullet that hit Martin Luther King at the Lorraine Motel, that didn't kill him. I saw the video, I believe it was on Instagram, and they're saying that he was smothered to death at the hospital. And that nurses and doctors, they were working on him. And I forgot, some police officers came in there and was like, stop working on that N word. And the nurse said that he was spit on. And then they ended up suffocating him with the pillow. So I don't know if that's going to come out in the files because, like I said, I never knew this. I saw a video. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're saying that the doctor smothered him. That was my first time ever hearing that. I always thought he got shot there and he died on the spot. So I thought that was like really scary. It was horrible to listen to because I didn't know that. I did download the video somewhere on my phone. I made sure to download it. But yeah, so I'm thinking, I wonder if whatever Trump finds out, if they're going to show that that's what really killed MLK. Because they said he survived at the hospital, but he was smothered. So, the thing with Martin Luther King, his legacy is very mixed. Um, it seemed like they were here for him when he had a dream, because that's all they ever show is his I Had a Dream speech, where, black and white people will come together and, sit at the table of harmony. But if you really follow a lot of Martin Luther King's later speeches, he went from having a dream to being woke. And he even said that he feared that he led his people into a burning Bush or something like that. Because he's like, what's the point of sitting at a cafe and boycotting to be able to have equal rights to sit and eat next to white people? We don't even have no money to buy a cup of coffee. We don't even have any money for food. So when he really started talking about getting more rights for black people and started talking about, wealth inequalities in the black community, that's when he became a danger. When he started becoming more radicalized, like Malcolm X, that's when he became a danger. When he woke up from his dream. So, yeah, it's really sad. A burning house. I said a burning bush. Thank you, a burning house. I knew something was burning, child. Burning bushes in the Bible. But yeah, he was saying that he felt like he had brought his people into a burning house. So, like, if you listen to a lot of his later speeches, they were more on par with a lot of the stuff that Malcolm X was saying. But they only talk about the I Have a Dream speech. So I definitely get Bernice for being upset about, how her father's legacy has been disrespected. And I know during my first meetup, when I had my first ATL get together, that was one of the things that we took. I think I took about 25 people. Everybody who was on the tour bus, we had rented out a huge bus, and I took everybody on the MLK tour in Atlanta. So we got to see MLK's home, his church. We went to the pool. I don't know, it's like a wishing well or something down there in Atlanta. Do y'all remember the people who came on the Atlanta trip when I took everybody before we went to the Throwback Museum? We stopped and we did the MLK tour. So yeah, we got a chance to do that in Atlanta. I know Daishin was there. Daishin was there on that trip. And then I had took my son to the museum as well, like the year before. So that's how I found out about it. So now the new debate with Sexy Red is her and Bruno Mars. They don't drop the song, child. You can't make this up. So a lot of people are going back and forth about this whole Bruno Mars situation. So hold on really quick. Let me. Okay. I'm going to play a snippet for you. Let me unmute it here. I'ma throw it back. Let me give you that.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
I don't even gangbang. Pussy so good, let me throw up a set.
Okay, that's all y'all can get, honey. Fat, juicy, and wet. I don't even gangbang. Pussy so good, make me throw up the set. Now, I can see it being a bop. I'm not gonna lie. I can see it being a bop. But, because I like the beat, I get it. But I think it's a good look for Sexy. Just because, Sexy. The fact that she's with Bruno. I don't know if it's a good look for Bruno, though. I got to keep it real. I don't know if it's a good look for Bruno. But I can definitely see that song being played. It's stuck in my head. And I've only just watched the video once and the lyrics are already in my head. But it's like, I expect a bit more from Bruno. And people be like, well, if you listen to a lot of his music is freaky. He has music about being a pimp and all types of stuff. But I just feel like everything with Sexy is just always gutter. It's always about coochie and being wet. And, I just wish she could talk about something else. But I guess that's what she built her brand on, But the fact that a lot of people look at Bruno as being commercial, being safe, where, kids can listen to Bruno and, it's all good. But do you really want your 11-year-old talking about, fat, juicy, and wet? I don't. So I think for a lot of people, they're not feeling it. They feel like this was not a good collab. And what I always find funny is that a lot of people are saying that, the money must not be money for Bruno. People are saying that he's in some type of casino debt, allegedly. I've been hearing, rumblings on social media about that. But it seems like whenever people want to revamp themselves or tap into a new base, and granted, he's done songs with Cardi B and stuff like that. But Rose is in this video. Lady Gaga's in this video. So you can tell the money is not money in. When you have big what you consider A-list entertainers and singers mucking around with the Sexyy Reds. Because Sexyy Red is not A-list. You know, she's definitely blowing up. She's doing her thing. But I wouldn't consider her an A-list rapper. So it's very interesting that you now have the Lady Gagas and the, you know, Bruno Mars is connecting with Sexyy Red. But I can see that song hitting the charts, going up the Billboard charts because people like Bruno. It's a different look for him. It makes, you know, gives him some edge appeal. He's talking about throwing up the set and all this other stuff. I guess, child, you know, it's always cool to promote gangbanging as long as you're so far removed from gangbanging. So I find it very interesting.